young black men letting Trump make a fool out of them. Because they listening to old black men. Always this woke group. Everybody knows something. Everybody's so smart. And I ain't coming at y'all with nothing that I wrote, nothing that I made up. This ain't my opinion. These are facts that I'm coming with. See, we keep letting Trump run amok on us. We keep letting the Republican Party and the GOP run amok on us. They making us look silly. And for anybody, any black man, with all that went down for us to get the right to vote, to tell somebody not to vote is a fool. If somebody tell you not to use or exercise the right that folks died for, that look just like me and you, and they tell you not to vote, they're a fool. And if you listen to them and don't vote, you're a fool. It makes absolutely no sense. This stuff got me heated that this man in office. It got me heated that this man in office, because he got no business there if we would have did our part. Instead of talking about some reparation, we're going to talk about it. Calm down. Some reparation. Ain't nobody gave you no reparation all these years. What make you think you're going to get it now? Whoa, because she was a woman? Oh, because she was a colored woman. Because she wasn't black according to them. Oh, the woke folks said she ain't black. If she gonna try to get a job, she's at the blackest me and you. Let's talk about it. But y'all are running a felon, a convicted felon, when they won't even let your felon butt in there. You can't get a job at McDonald's as a felon, but you will sit back at home and allow another felon to get the president of the United States. And now he running amok on this country, and ain't nothing we can do about it. Canceling everything. I know y'all just heard the military don't celebrate Black History Month. It's paused. That's how they start everything. They pause it. They ain't celebrate Juneteenth. It's paused. It's paused. It's paused. Yeah. Hey, baby. Hope you're doing some schoolwork over there in Tuscaloosa. Miss you, baby. It's paused. They said no Black History Month. One day before Black History Month started. Come on, man. Come on, man. And we gonna have the audacity to tell somebody, Dr. Claude Anderson, which I respect and I love, and I've been following him ever since I was old enough to remember. Dr. Claude Anderson, you're wrong. And everybody who listened to him after that is wrong too. Let's talk about it. And we're gonna get down into the details, into the facts of how they wrong. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I took a lot of notes. So you might catch me reading, you might catch me doing. I did not want to come up here and give out no misinformation, because the only thing black people are getting right now is misinformation. If you're gonna need black media, these black YouTubers, these black imposters, these black woke folks, all they doing is lying to you. All they doing is lying to you. They would love to erase your history, but we finna go down, deep down into it today. Tell a friend to come on in. Dr. Claude Anderson, we need you to come to the front, man. And I remember the dude that put me on Dr. Claude Anderson. I got Dr. Claude Anderson book. Dr. Claude, we gotta talk, man. Y'all letting these folk make a fool out of y'all. And that just really, really hurtful to me. It's really hurtful. So leave it in the comment section, man. We got the Favorite Fellowship podcast over there on YouTube, man. We doing the South Got Something to Say podcast over here on YouTube. I mean on Facebook, and on YouTube we got the Favorite Fellowship podcast. We ain't going nowhere. Favorite Fellowship podcast, where we get our faith-based content. We practicing our faith on the internet. We practicing our faith on the internet, because we need God more now than we ever needed him before. We need God now more than we ever needed him before. And for anybody to tell you anything other than that, because I feel no man, especially an orange one, let's talk about it. I feel no man, especially an orange one. Time out for all the talk. Time out for all the play. Time out for all the, I'm smarter than you. You better sit down and listen to the facts. And the facts you gonna get right here on the South Got Something to Say podcast, because you're not going to run amok on our itty bitties. We got babies coming up in this world. We got babies playing football. My little, I don't want to call him a son-in-law because he ain't married my daughter yet, but he was up in Tampa Bay this week in an all-star game doing it big for the city of Selma. We got 5-star athlete coming out of the city of Selma. What they going to? We sending these kids out in the world and we telling them not to vote. We sending our babies out in this world and telling them not to vote. Our little boys, our little precious little baby boys that growing to be men ain't gonna have a foot to stand on. Let's talk about it. And if anybody got a problem with anything I say, you know where that leave button at. Because right now, if ain't nobody watching but me, I got to tell the truth. Y'all letting this man make a fool out of y'all. This man come over here, shine a few things in your face. I know y'all ain't vote for that man because y'all got a stimulus check. I know y'all ain't crazy enough to think that that man, out of all men in the world, gave you a stimulus check. And if you voted for that man for a stimulus check, you a fool. If you voted for a stimulus check, you a fool. Let me sit up, because this thing got me heated. And I'm telling you, I'm really upset. I done stopped watching the news and all of that. Then I just had to just lock back in and say, man, what is going on? What is going on? So I had a guy tell me, we were doing our Project 2025 coverage last year on the South Got Something to Say podcast. See, we ain't just started this thing over here on the South Got Something to Say podcast. I've been researching this stuff a long time. And I told y'all, if this man get in office, what's gonna happen? It ain't take 1 week. It ain't take 1 week. Because see, what Melbo gonna do, if Melbo don't do nothing else, Melbo gonna do is research. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna research. One thing Brenda did to me as a child, she read to me. So can't nobody just come and tell me anything. And there's a lot of people out there that you just can't go, but some of us so gullible. The first YouTuber that got 20 million views, you think he right. Well, I'm finna prove to you today. Because this is enough of me talking, and it's time to get to the content. I'm gonna prove to you today that you ain't getting told them a bold-faced lies. The Democrat Party ain't did nothing for you. You don't need to vote until they do something for you. You don't need to vote till they give you reparation. You ain't getting no reparation from nobody. Thank you, baby. You ain't getting no reparation from nobody. You need to stop that. If you gonna tell folk to sit at home till they get reparation and let these folk run amok on you, you a fool. Now let's get to the content. Let's go. Let's get to the content today. And I'm telling you, this ain't nothing that I'm making up. And everything I say, I always tell you, you know, on the South Got Something to Say podcast last season, one thing I'm gonna tell you, do your research. Do your own research. Whether you're watching it live or watching it on the playback, do your own research. Don't believe nothing I tell you. But we finna get into it. And it's gonna be a little reading going on because I took a lot of notes on what I was reading and what I was researching. I took a lot of notes. So I don't want to be wrong up here for them imposters, them black imposters, this black media, these woke folks. They think they know everything. And they spew them lies off the top of their head because they ain't never lies. Lies can't be researched. The only thing you do to research lies is to debunk them. And I'm finna debunk a lot of lies today with research. So first of all, one of the first things I heard with this new woke media, these black imposters, one of the first things I heard was, if they ain't talking about giving you reparations, if they're not talking about giving you reparations, we don't need to get out and vote. What? So you mean to tell me there's something that we ain't got in 400 years that they gonna give it to us, because they can easily do it. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, reparations ain't hard to do. See, Dr. Claude Anderson had one thing right. If they wanted to give it to you, it ain't that hard to do. You block off money for Ukraine, you block off money for stimulus, you block off money for AIDS, just block off the money. We don't care how much it is. We understand that. We don't really care how much money it is. But block off $500 billion or $500 million for black folk for reparations. They can afford it. They sent more than that to Ukraine. They sent more than that to Ukraine. So you mean to tell me that they can't do it? We know they can do it, but is that a reason enough to not go vote? Because see, I'm going to read to you. There's been a lot of talk about reparation lately. It's what I jotted down in my notes. And while the idea itself is sparse debate, yes, it's debatable. Yes, I agree we should get reparations, but I just know in 400 years we ain't got them. We need to recognize that there's a bigger play at hand. See, they're using that reparation talk to keep us separated, to keep us not on one accord. See, we got to be on one accord with this black thing, because they on one accord. They know what they doing. And these politicians are using it as a promise. Hey, if you do this, I'm going to give you reparation. I need your vote. I need your vote. Let's talk about it. But reparations is being used right now as a strategic tool. They are using that as a strategy to get you not to vote. See, the GOP have infiltrated the people that we call black media. The GOP, they infiltrated them. They are infiltrated to the highest level of infiltration. They are infiltrated, and they're spewing all of that mess on us. And only thing it is, it's a distraction. It's designed to either discourage us from voting or push us toward that GOP party. That's what they use the reparations for. So if you're sitting at home, talking about you're not voting because you're not getting reparations, they got you. You good and got. You good and got. And for you to sit up here and tell me that Democrats ain't did nothing for black folks because they ain't gave up reparations, you good and got. We got to, one thing black folks ain't realized yet, that Martin Luther King and all of them people, they knew what they were doing. They knew our vote would have power. They knew our vote would have power. But we have conceded our power because the GOP, they infiltrated some of our woke folks. And y'all spread this junk all throughout. Y'all spread this junk all throughout the YouTube space, TikTok space, Facebook. Everywhere you look is misinformation on by why black folks, let's talk about it, why black folks shouldn't get up and use the right that folks died for. That's a problem. This is called political bait and switch. They dangling that stuff at you, and then they switch up on you. Trump just did it 1,000 times. Do you know? Let's pull up the map. Let me see if I can find it. Do you know how many Latinos voted for Trump? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's look at this right here. Black women, 89% for Kamala Harris. Black women been holding it down though, but it's still lower than it was in 2020 for Joe Biden. Trump gained a 10-point increase with black women. And our black women is the ones supposedly, allegedly holding it down. A 10%. You know why? Because we didn't go vote. Listening to these so-called woke folks that sleep. We listen to woke folks that sleep. He gained 10% of our black women But that is not the tragedy. The tragedy is the next one. The tragedy is the next one. Black men, they keep locking your butt up. If they don't lock you up, they shoot you in the middle of the street, and you went. This man told you in his campaign, he made it clear. He made it clear, it crystal clear, that if I get in office, I'm doing prosecutorial immunity for any cop. They got prosecutorial immunity. That means if you shoot a black man in the street, you got immunity. 24% increase with black men. That is unheard of. That's a tragedy. That's a tragedy. And so when y'all get on the Facebook talking about this getting stopped, that getting stopped, look what we did. A 24% increase in black men. If y'all can't see it, here you go. I cut people out because of that narrative this year. I don't have time to educate grown folks on the importance. Exactly. That's real talk. And I ain't got time to be having this discussion with you. I'm just gonna put the facts out there, do with them what you choose. Because this is the stupidest thing I ever heard. 24%. Not only did you not go vote, some of you went and voted for Trump. When the man telling you what he gonna do to you. He's telling you. It ain't the one thing about Orange Man, he do not hold back. He gonna tell you exactly what he gonna say. And I guess that's what y'all like about it. Y'all like an idiot. Gotta call it what it is. White women, no surprise there. White women did better than black men. Sad to say. White women did better than black men. We expect the white women to go vote for Trump. White women did better than white men. I mean, it ain't but a point down. 47% of the white women for Biden, 46% for white women for, they consistent. Y'all are the ones that got a 12% decrease. I mean, a 12% increase. Black men. Black men that folk want to march all in the street for. Y'all want to go marching in the street for black men? You see what black men doing? Let's talk about it. Black men, 12% increase. 12% increase of 24%. You Latinos. You know, I be so sad to be when I be seeing all this ICE stuff on the TV. And I be so sad. A 39% increase with Latinos. A 39%. Like this man wasn't telling y'all he was sending you somewhere. He don't care where you go, you just can't stay here. He ain't care where you go, you just can't stay here. Latino man. Y'all see this? Y'all, it ain't like I'm making this stuff up, y'all. I got the numbers right here. I told you I ain't coming with number facts today. 49% increase. 48, 49, I getting bad, getting old. 48% increase with Latino man. Did y'all not hear what the man told y'all he was gonna do? So at what point do we not feel sorry? Same thing with y'all black men. At what point? But y'all ain't finna do this to our itty bitties. Spread this misinformation, and you're not finna do this to our itty bitties. And if you can't get it from this, you just can't get it. See, when you take advice from YouTubers, out of all the people to take advice from, you taking advice from YouTubers. And if you take advice that say not to vote unless reparations are guaranteed, you are ultimately supporting the party that opposed reparations. Duh. So you thought Trump was gonna give it to you? Oh, but the Democrats ain't did nothing for black folks. Found out that's a lie. You either directly or indirectly supporting the GOP party. If you vote for them, you're directly. If you don't vote, don't vote for them, you're indirectly. Hey man, hey. Y'all stop me when I lie. See, anybody that want to debate them back, they don't want no part of that. Because they know it's a lie. But it sounds good. It sounds like they the woke ones. They the smart ones. They know more about blacks than blacks know about blacks. Like Martin Luther King was out there marching. All you do is sit up on YouTube. Martin Luther King lost his life. Malcolm X lost his life. It's people, and we talking about the ones we know. We got the Annie Bortis. We got the Marie Fosters who lost their life. Who was beaten. We got the John Lewis who was beaten. But I'm supposed to just sit on you because you got a microphone in your face. Well, I got one in mind now. And I'm calling you out on your lie. I don't care what color you is. If you're lying to my people, you ain't no different than the orange man to me. You ain't no different than the orange man, and you're going to sit up here and lie to our people that we should not go vote for some reparations because Democrats ain't never did that for. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. We got off to a late start, but we're going to get through it. Another thing they did. Donald Trump embraced that mugshot. Y'all know he embraced that mugshot, right? And you know why he did it, right? Donald Trump embraced that mugshot because it appealed to young black men. It appealed to young black men. He was proud of that mug shot when he went down to Georgia and got arrested. He was proud of that mug shot when he went down to Georgia and got arrested. You know why? Because he know that in certain circles, a mug shot isn't necessarily seen as a mark of shame, but as a badge of defiance. He knew that mug shot he relate. We think we thugs too. I'm a thug. He a thug like me. You see how they play with y'all mind black men? You see how they play with your mind black men? He think he a thug like me. Let's talk about it. Everything they do is strategic. Trump got some street credibility. He got some street cred for taking that mug shot. But leaning into that imagery. Trump attempting to rebrand himself as a rebel against the system. Won't you, black man, go rebel against the system? Won't you? He told Colin Kaepernick need to be fired. Get that son of a boot off the field. Wouldn't you like to tell him that? Y'all remember that speech he gave him? But he lead a whole insurrection into this Capitol that's behind me. Let's talk about it. The goal with that mugshot is to make young black men, many of them who witness or experience over policing, wrongful arrest, and a justice system that disproportionately punish them, see him as relatable. He wanted young black men to see, hey, I'm just like you, I get arrested too. But here go the difference. Trump mugshot isn't the result of racial profile. It ain't the result of systemic oppression or a legal just system. It's the result of what he did. That mugshot was because of what he did. So before anyone fall for the act, let's ask the real question. Does Trump mugshot make him an ally to black men? Is he our friend now because he took a picture at jail? Because guess what? His cases are getting dropped right now. Yours are not. We're going to get into that some more too. Let's keep going. Some of the lies the Democratic Party tell is ridiculous. Now let's be real. I'm not giving the Democratic Party no free. I'm not giving the Democratic Party no freebie now. I wanted to be clear that this ain't a free. They haven't done the best job of addressing systemic racism. They don't resonate with us when it comes to systemic racism no more than the GOP. But I tell you one thing they do. They push legislation to fight it. And if anybody come on here and tell you any different, they just told you a bold-faced lie. And we're going to get into some of the legislation that was pushed by Democrats. I want somebody to bring me some Republican legislation because I looked and I couldn't find none. I looked and I can't find none. No legislation against systemic racism has been pushed by the GOP party ever. See, in just a moment, we're going to listen to Dr. Claude Anderson before we get out of here. I want y'all to hear this dude. And I'm telling you, I was a Dr. Claude Anderson fan until I heard you say the ultimate thing that I will never want to hear from nobody no more. And that hold your vote. Vote the couch. Vote the couch. Vote the couch. Y'all seen them numbers? That's ridiculous, man. And for us to sit up here and act like that ain't a problem. Dr. Claude Anderson making the argument that the Democratic Party has done nothing for black folks. And while some of what he say, now he say a lot of truth in what he say, but there are aspects of his message that is damaging. It ruins our community. And until we get this fixed, we gonna stay. First of all, what we need to do is vote more. He even suggested starting our own political power when we are 1 to 9 minority. We'll never win. And that's if every black, you that mean the coon blacks too. You got them out there too. You got the Byron Douglases of the world, the Ben Carsons of the world. You got to get every black, and you still a 1 to 9 minority. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Many people have picked up his talking points and started repeating them without looking at the full picture because we never look at the full picture. That's been our problem. It's going to be our problem. We never see the full picture. But we finna show you the full picture now. Let me turn the music on. I want to hear him clear. We're going to turn the music all the way off for him. Dr. Claude Anderson.
The Democratic Party has never explained to black people in this country that they're going to practice politics based on the simple premise of what politics is in place for. Politics is a process that decides who's going to get what benefits out of life and who's going to get it and how they're going to get it. And yet the Democratic Party has never told black folk that. And so what you should be voting for out there is not for a political candidate based on his personality. Well, I like this candidate for this reason. I like that for that reason. You should be saying, I want to pick the person who's going to provide the most benefits to black people.
Did y'all hear that? I want you to pick the candidate that provide the most beneficial to our people. Who benefits us more? Let's talk about it. Who benefits us more? So I did some research on this. Now let me be clear. Dr. Anderson is an intelligent man, highly educated with a doctorate and some great literature under his belt. I done read his book and he got plenty. I read one of them. He ain't no dummy. But I just don't understand why he insists the Democratic Party has done nothing for black people. If it weren't for the Democrat Party, the one that remained after the Dixiecrat. See, where the woke folks lose me at, is that, hold on, let me get to some of these comments before I get to that. Melbo, we got to educate ourselves and fact check everything and stop listening to all they say. That's the whole point of the podcast this year. I stand on the side of right and wrong. Over the last few days, I have seen a lot of wrong, and everybody has. Our community has never unified for the greater good. They want us divided, and that's why you get rhetoric like this, and we finna debunk all of it today. A lot of people like to dismiss the Southern strategy. They like to try to give credit to the current Republic for what Republican did prior to the Southern strategy when the party switched places on the political spectrum. Rod Legend, you must been in my research because that's what we finna talk about right now. This is what we finna talk about right now. Now, the one we had a Democratic Party and a Republican Party doing slavery. And the Republican Party was one of the ones that favored to get rid of slavery. The one that remained after the Republican Party, after the slavery free, the Democrats like, oh no, they down here in our South. Now, if you look at if you look at the map, when you ever go to see the thing, y'all be watching the Electoral College and all that, everything at the bottom of the map is red. And them was old Democrats, them Dixiecrat Democrats that switched over to the GOP party that we have now. The GOP party that we have now is the old Democrat Dixiecrats. They left and shifted the GOP to the GOP, and we wouldn't have the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Voting Rights Act of 1965. Oh, they ain't did nothing for black folk. Huh? You said they ain't did nothing for black folk. We got the Voting Rights Act of 1964. The Voting Rights Act of 1965. The Fair Housing Act of 1968. The Elementary and Secondary Act. And that's just minor. We got the Great Society Act that was the war on poverty, that pushed more black people in the middle class than ever. All that was done under Democratic leadership. All that was signed by a Democratic president. All that was paid by a Democratic Congress. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Name me one act that the Republicans, the GOP push. So when Claude Anderson he said, if you don't like neither one, vote for one more beneficial to you. Duh, it's the one that gave us housing. One who gave us protection on our job. One that gave us the right to vote. The one who protect our children in school when they running amok and throwing us in special education for nothing. That's who doing it. So at the end of the day, for you to tell us to go vote Republican, what have they done? And Claude Anderson gonna sit right here, and we're gonna play the video in a second. He gonna tell you what they done. Nothing. But yet he telling our black people not to vote, and at the same time telling black folks to not vote and telling them that Republicans ain't gonna do nothing for either. So vote the couch. How does that make sense? So where do our voice get heard? If all black folks listen to him and say, no, we ain't gonna go vote, how does that benefit us? It makes no sense. 0 cents. What worse is that young black men are picking up this misinformation, spreading it, and unknowingly paving the way for people like Trump and the GOP to gain more power. That's how you get a Project 2025. They need it in order to get the Project 2025 agenda across. They needed black people not to vote. That's the only way they would have ever been able to implement Project 2025. So how do you do it? Infiltrate these woke people. Dangle reparations in their face. Dangle little things in their face. Remind them of all the missteps that Democrats had took over the years. Talking about Kamala Harris locked up black people with no proof. I haven't seen one, and I watched this mess. That's how I know so much about it. I watched this mess. They said that Kamala Harris locked up a bunch of black people, and nobody ever showed me the bunch of black people she locked up. Let's talk about it. They told me about the Joe Biden crime bill. They told me about Obama loving gay people. They got a whole lot of stigmas they want to put on you to cloud your judgment, cloud your mind. And they give it to these woke folks, and guess what these woke folks do with it? Guess what these woke folks do with it? They give it to you, you believe it, don't go vote. Project 2025 is being implemented as we speak. Project 2025 is being implemented as we speak. About 9 things out of the top 10 already implemented. Y'all thought there was a game? Y'all thought these folks were playing with y'all?
You vote. You go to the supermarket and you go in there and you starve to death. You need some groceries. You go to the supermarket, walk up to the cashier and give him $50. Say, I'm buying $50 worth of food. And you don't have to give me anything for it. Just take the $50. I'm going back by my business. See, that's what the Democrats are doing. And black people don't understand that the Democratic Party has never, ever done anything in the history of this nation to be effectively do something for black folk. They didn't.
Do y'all see that? Never, ever, ever, ever have they done something to benefit black folk. So what make you think they gonna do it today? What make you think they gonna do it today? Never in a million years have Republicans ever did that for black folks. And I'm talking about the new Republicans now. We talk about the new Republicans after when them Dixiecrats moved over there. That means that them Dixiecrats moved over there. Now they descendants, they kids, they grandkids, they running this party now. And you think they finna do something for you when they never liked you and never wanted you here. And the only goal they got is to run you off. I don't get it. Clyde Ellison know the truth. Dr. Clyde Ellison know the truth. He know which party passed the legislation. He know the party that still protects our rights today. It's just factually inaccurate to claim otherwise. He know. Saying that the Democratic Party has done nothing for black people is like saying the sky is red. We see what you're doing. We see what you're doing. And what happens when they do that, policies like Project 2025, which still not giving no reparations now. They one thing mentioned in Project 2025 about reparations. It's still not in Project 2025. But you know what we got in Project 2025? Them Jim Crow laws. That's what we got in Project 2025. Them Jim Crow laws. I just don't get it. It makes no sense that Dr. Clyde Anderson continues to spread the rhetoric. I know he knows better how to read it. So why continue to push a narrative that ignores historical reality? The danger is that young black men are listening to these claims and taking them as absolute truth and using them to justify their actions or inactions. They are using these policies to actively work against our interests. We have to be honest about our history. That doesn't mean the Democratic Party is perfect. Far from it. But we can't pretend like they ain't did nothing for us. We can't pretend like they ain't play a role in securing rights that we still rely on today. Let's deal with facts and not misinformation. So I have to ask, why are we demonizing the one party that has historically passed legislation that benefit us? Why are we ignoring our history and making it easier for those who work against us to take control? Why are we giving them Project 2025? Why? It's time to wake up and see the bigger picture. Don't let these folk run amok on us, especially our itty bitties. South got something to say. Podcast is here with Melbo. What a show we had today. Yes. What a show we had today. And we're not done yet. We're not coming off their neck. We're not coming off their neck. We ain't coming off the GOP neck. We ain't coming off the woke folk neck. If they want it, they can come over here and get it. Let's talk about it. You already know how we leave here. Yes. Let's get it. Let's go. South Got Something to Say podcast is back with a whole new season. We finna do it big this year. We got content there for days thanks to the Orange Man. Let's talk about it. What a show. Thank y'all for all my commenters. Thank for the ones who sent stars. Subscribe to the South Got Something to Say podcast. Subscribe to the Faith and Fellowship podcast on the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. Melbo Hall on X. Melbo 3000 on Snapchat. Melbo Hall on TikTok. Let's get it. Let's go. The South Got Something to Say podcast is back. It ain't nobody happier that it's back than me. We ain't spread no misinformation over here. We researching. We researching. Let's get it. We ain't coming with no opinions. Everything we say, we want you to go research yourself. Ain't nobody but the Democrats started to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Ain't nobody but the Democrat passed the Voting Rights of 1965. Ain't nobody but the Democrat passed the Fair Housing Act of 1968, the Elementary and Secondary Act. Let's talk about it, the Great Society Act that got us out of poverty. Ain't nobody did that. And in many more, we gonna talk about it. Jimmy Carter passed a lot for black. Bill Clinton did stuff for black. Barack Obama did something for black. Joe Biden just showed out for blacks. Don't let these folks lie to you. 2026, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this 2026. We gonna get the South Got Something to Say podcast worldwide so we can fix this in 2026 election. We gonna fix this. South Got Something to Say. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We love y'all. The South Got Something to Say podcast. Holla at your boy, Melbo. You already know the motto. Each one, teach one. Love or be loved. To the moon!